Oh, you're here. How are you? My name's Doug Gordon, and on behalf of PDN and WPPI, I'd like to welcome you all to my virtual presentation. I am extremely excited about the next 45 minutes we get to spend together. It's a big honor for me. I'm the only person who's actually been able to do all of the virtual shows with PDN. So when they asked me back again, it was not only a big honor, but it was exciting because I wanted to be able to do some things different with you. We have a little bit of a daunting task ahead of us. Basically, over the next 45 minutes, I got to welcome you into my world of posing and lighting and kind of take you through what it is I do. Right now, we're set up in my studio. We're going to do a lot of things over the next 45 minutes. We're going to try to figure out how to make people come together. We're going to pose them, but we're going to pose them to look natural. We're going to work with how to change their weight, and if we have a plus-size subject, we're going to show how to make them look thinner. We're going to work and show how we can create posing through love and through romance. And more importantly, we're going to talk about how to feel the image rather than just be a person behind the camera. I'm going to explain the differences between photojournalism and a posed portraiture. But we're going to really work and concentrate on doing things different and simplifying them. That's what's going to make this special for you. Now, I'll apologize to you ahead of time because I'm going to move really fast. And the reason I'm moving fast is because I want to try to get as much information out to you as possible. Hopefully, I'll be able to see you at WPPI where we could slow it down a little bit and not work so hard. But let's figure out what we're going to do. Let's talk to you a little bit about my motivation and what we're really trying to accomplish. Everything I see is an inspiration to me. What is it that inspires you? Is it love? Is it money? Is it fascination? Is it family? Well, to me, inspiration is everywhere. Everywhere I look, I see inspiration. Whether it be a movie, whether it be a picture, whether it be a scene, a book, or just a dad and a daughter walking in a park. I look for inspiration, things that are going to inspire me to try to be different. I look for inspiration, things that are going to motivate me to be more creative. Now, we all know wedding photography, it isn't an easy job. Everybody today picks up a camera and says, I'm a wedding photographer. The cameras are getting better and better. The technology is getting better and better. Unfortunately, that's making it more difficult for us professionals because everybody who picks up a camera goes out and shoots on P for professional. They put it on TTL, whatever that means, and they're off, and they get a couple of good candidates here or there. And then they wind up just giving their client the DVD. So it's turned out to be watered down a little bit. How can you separate yourself? Well, it's really simple. There's a way to separate yourself beyond anybody, and that way is posing. I promise you, if you know how to pose, you're going to be amazed at what you could create. People come to us for an illusion. They come to us because they want to look better than they've ever looked in their entire life. They dream of their wedding day. They expect a fairy tale. But as we all know, it's not really a fairy tale. A wedding is something that there's too many variables. There's too many things going on that are going to change it and adjust it for them. When they're worried about the cake, the family, the bridal party, or anybody in between. The fact is, it isn't the love story that we all dreamed it would be. My job as a photographer is not necessarily to show the world as it is, but more is what I want it to be. I want to be inspired by my couple, but I want to form that personal relationship with them. So from the day I meet them, I'm going over everything in full detail with them, but I'm finding about who they are, what they like, what makes them feel good, what makes them sad, because the idea between it is you can see a moment. The question is whether or not you feel it. Everybody sees it, but if you feel it, it's so much more. I just recently did a wedding, and it was September 11th, and the wedding, you would think, okay, it's a normal day. The couple's getting married. This is the day they chose to get married, but there was a story behind it. And when I knew the story, and I knew that the groom lost friends in the trade center, when I knew that he went to Afghanistan and Iraq on 3 tours of duty and came back to get married, when they saw each other for the first time, I could barely see through the viewfinder. I felt it. And by feeling it, it created such magic in the image because they knew that I felt like I was a part of them. And that's important when you're shooting because people remember their lives through your feelings, your eyes, your emotions, everything you are as a person. And that's got to matter. It's got to mean something. And if it means something to you, you're going to work harder. People think that our jobs don't matter. We're leaving a legacy. If you think about it, everything, when people look back at their lives, They're seeing history through what we created. That's a legacy that we're leaving. There's an importance to it. How do we do it? Well, we have to start to understand simplifying things. Too many times people overthink the lighting aspect of it. So we're going to simplify that for you today, and that'll be the first thing we discuss. You walk into many situations and flash, as wonderful as an item as it is, it became a security blanket for us. I'm sure you're noticing total discolorization in your images. You're noticing that when you're shooting indoors, especially a church, a temple, or a reception site, you're seeing a lot of orange tone to your images like are displayed on the screen now. Because what's happening ultimately is you're mixing light. You're going between the blue flash and the tungsten of the room, and when you mix them together, you're not going to get a good result. You see what I'm talking about on the screen right now. The idea behind it is, how do we get rid of that orange discolorization? How do we get rid of not only the discolorization, but what comes along with it? What is that? Well, it's very simple. You're getting pixelation. You're getting grain. You're getting noise. Why is that happening? Because what's happening, very simple, is you're taking that blue flash and lighting it on the subject. Now, the white balance has got to be directly set for that blue. So everything that's not in that blue family of white balance is ultimately oversaturating, radiating, and coming out to look terrible. That's the mixture of light. The same thing would happen if you put flash in a fluorescent situation. So the key here is we want to, number one, wherever we are, identify the main light. And by identifying the main light, we're going to be able to really key in on creating perfect color, perfect tone, perfect white balance. Everything starts with our white balance. So what do? Well, I look in here. This room is clearly set for daylight. What if it was set for tungsten? What if it was set for fluorescent? So we created something to do that. We want to try to, number one, identify the light, and secondly, match it. By matching the light, we're creating the perfect tone throughout the image. So in this case, if you look, I created something here. It's called a torch light. It's a very simple entity. The idea behind it, if you notice, there's a little orange cap on it. I pop this cap off, it now becomes daylight. I pop the cap back on, it becomes tungsten. So rather than sitting there and focusing on, okay, let's put blue light on when we're in a tungsten situation and getting bad color, if I'm in a tungsten situation, I pop this on and take a look. I start to get the color. I start to change the way I look at things. And by matching the color, I'm going to create better tone, better balance. More importantly, rather than using a flash here, I can control it going up, down, anywhere in between. So I can control my intensity. So one of the keys is making sure that I match the light. And you'll see this later on in our posing and lighting demo when we do some really dark and unique stuff. So, number one, identify and match the light. Number two, when you do this, this is going to create better color, better balance, better tone. Now, where does light come from? Let's start to understand that. Carmela, if you can come in for 1 second, please. So we're going to move the camera right out of the frame here, and we're going to talk about what we're doing at Carmela. We need to understand positioning of light. So when we look at our beautiful bride here, let's take a look at her. The one thing that we want to focus on is there's two sides of light. We need to identify the direction of light. The direction of light is going to be very simple. It's once you see it, there's going to be two sides to the subject. It's either going to be a broad side or it's going to be short side. Now, what's the difference? The broad side is going to be the more heavily lit side. And by the more heavily lit side, when you're hitting direction, if all the light is coming from here and we're hitting on this side of her face, what's going to happen is it's going to look fuller. The idea is we want to try to make people look thinner. Even in the case of Carmela, who obviously doesn't have any of these issues of a plus-size subject, I can still make her look fuller than she wants to. I can make her look bloated. So let's set her up in just a basic turn. Turn your body to me, beautiful. Kick your right leg forward. Now let's take a look at her face here. Now, I want to show you, I'm going to bring this light in just a little bit here. This is a light that we commonly use in studio. It's an Adorama flash point light. It's a daylight balanced fluorescent. Now, if we take a look at her face, look at this. We're broad lighting her here. Now, what's happening is we want to try to take the broad light side of the face and bring it away from the camera. So we're keeping the short light side to the face. We're turning in. By doing that, we're minimizing the broad light because we're lighting into the face through the body. Now, let's take a look at the difference. If we switch sides with her, look at the size difference in her face. It looks much fuller. You're getting a fuller face because what's happening is, tilt your head a little bit to the right, now what's happening is you're bringing this side closer to the camera, which is ultimately starting to make her look heavier. We don't want to do that. We want to thin her out. So the key is to make sure that we light into the face. So we want to look to see where the direction of light's coming from. So by lighting into the face and going through the body, ultimately we're going to thin the subject out, but more importantly, we start to do other things. By bringing the light through the dress, what's ultimately going to happen is you're going to start to pick up all the detail. Whereas if you board it from here, you're going to broadside the dress, get rid of all the detail, and more importantly, you're going to make her face look fuller. You're going to make her body look washed out. You're going to make it look like a big blob, and worse is you're going to start to make her face look heavier. So let's remember, we keep the short, light side of the face, in this case here, closer to the camera. So we're pushing the lighted side, the broad side, away from the lens, ultimately thinning her out and ultimately thinning the body out. That's key. So now from here, let's start to figure out what the posing rules are. One thing I want to take into consideration is height. Now, if you're looking at them, you see they're almost the same height. That doesn't really work. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Carmela by taking and creating a wider base by opening the legs. By doing this, this is going to shorten her stance. Now from here, let's take a look. We're going to bring them in close. The first rule is what we call the tuck. We're going to take her left hand, in this case, bring it around his waist, and we're looking to tuck right underneath the armpit. Now Jared's got his hand in the pocket. Notice the bend of the leg already. Now from here, we're turning her face into the main light, and we're leaning and bringing their faces together. Now the key here is we start the tuck, so we're already starting the minimizing process. The next part, if you look, she's got pretty bad posture. So we're going to roll out the shoulder. By rolling out the shoulder, it pushes out the bust line, it accentuates the neckline, and most importantly, tightens everything up. The last part is key. We're bringing their faces together. We're keeping her face to the light by tilting her in a feminine pose, which is to a higher shoulder, because we know we're going to light through the body into the face. Jared is in a basic masculine pose, which is ultimately going to thin him out, and then we lean him forward. Now, by leaning him forward as our third rule, look what happens. We're stretching them out. We're making them look younger and thinner, and they like that. Now, the next step, the last thing is we know most of our brides are wearing sleeveless, strapless gowns. Most of them wearing it inappropriately, but we're not there to judge. We're there to make them look better. So with that being said, this arm becomes a big slab of meat. So we want to bring it away from the body rather than in close. So we're taking it out. Now, this last part here, this veil, becomes a key because it's going to create a cover. By covering the arm, it takes it from a non-sellable entity to a sellable entity because we've thinned her out completely. That's huge. The other way of doing this, if she doesn't have a veil, is here. Where most people, when doing this type of image, put the groom's hand here. If you look, there's no chemistry between them, there's no connection, and you're exposing the arm. Watch the difference in the image when the hand goes here. First of all, the great part of it is it covers up the meat of the arm. The other part is it creates a connection. It's like, I love you. I want you. Big difference, okay? But in this case, we don't need it for the first one. So a hand to a hip here where her bouquet would be, or whatever it would be. Veil covering the arm. So we're turning here. The first three images are going to be very quick and easy. I'm looking for that beautiful catch light. I'm looking to make sure they're on the same plane. I'm going to shoot 3 full-length images. Now, if they're a normal-sized couple, I'm going to keep the camera height right at waist level. If they're a plus-size couple, I'm going to bring the camera height up way above the lens. This way, I can make sure that I already start the minimizing process by bringing the faces closest to the camera. So let's take a look at these first 3 images. My camera height's right at waist level. They're looking right at me. Stay right there, guys. Chin down a little bit, Carmela. Nice and happy, smiling, beautiful. Eyes way up above the lens. Now take a look at how easy number 2 is. Look at each other. Again, full length, smiling. Look at his forehead, Carmela. Excellent. Number 3, go in and fake a kiss like you know each other. Close your eyes. Wonderful. Relax. Now turn your heads back to me. Hand on your hip. Turn your head to your right. Beautiful. Now let's take a look. They're not really a couple. My job is to make them look like a couple. For the rest of them, we're going to start by moving our camera height up to waist level and higher. So from here, we're going for a 3/4 image, which is going to be from here up. So with that being said, I'm going to bring the camera height to right here with a normal sized couple, bust level, and above eye level. They're looking at the camera, straight image. So camera height again is going to be chin down a little bit, Carmela, eyes up above the lens, about a foot above, smiling, Carmela, nice and happy. Excellent. Now watch how easy the next sequence of poses come. We bring her hand here, we create the hug. We come here. We're going to lean their bodies down a little bit. We're leaning them forward, again, keeping the face in the direction of wherever that light is coming from. But we're now going to add the camera tilt. We're going to tilt our camera towards the groom, which is ultimately going to make him bigger in the frame while minimizing her. For the bulk of our images, we're tilting our camera towards the groom. So we're tilting to the groom, leaning forward, Carmela, nice and happy, beautiful, smiling. Don't move. For the next one, all she's going to do is bring her nose right to his cheek. Take a look. Stretch the chin out, close your eyes, beautiful. We keep the camera still tilted to the groom. We're going to now have him smile. She's serious, nice and happy. Now look at each other. Still tilted to the groom, leaning closer, look at his forehead, beautiful. We're tilting to the groom, which is raising him up higher. There's our image. Now look at how easy it is. Carmela, turn your head back to me. Jared, nose on her cheek. Carmela, chin down, turn your head to camera right. Tilt your head to him, beautiful. Smiling at me, gorgeous, and turn your head to your right. Right here, beautiful. Look at the beautiful catchlight in her eyes. Now from here, they're still going to be looking at each other, but we're going to use the veil. We're going to create kind of a Gaussian blur with it. Look at each other, bringing the veil over the head. We don't want it to be perfect. We want it to be where there's kind of a blur here. Now you're going to start to see me incorporate use of a second camera. For all the images you've seen so far, I've been using a Canon 1D Mark IV. I'm shooting everything on tripod. I'm using an Adorama Flashpoint tripod. I'm shooting with a 70-200 2.8 lens, all available light. I'm either using my torch light, which is very soft, or I'm going to use, again, the Adorama Flashpoint light. Very inexpensive options. No flash, because I don't want to discolor, or more importantly, overpower at this point. Now, for the first two images here, we're going to set it up. I'm going to shoot with that 70-200. I'm going to crop on the heads. They're looking at each other, and we're going to be tilting to the groom. Look at each other, hands up again. Not that we see them, but we want to create the connection. So the camera height, again, is above eye level. Look at each other, leaning in nice and close. Closer, guys. Nose together, smiling. Excellent. Now, go in close like you're kissing. Close your eyes. No smile. Excellent. Now, look at the blur created with the veil. Now, the second camera, which is going to start to be incorporated on these shots, is a 7D. This is where I start to go into my 1.2 series. I'm going to use a 50-1.2 lens. I'm going to be on aperture priority 1.2. Everything I'm doing is working within a spot metering system. I'm spot metering and exposure locking under the eye of her. This makes it a lot easier. So from here, we're going to take his right hand. We don't even need the veil at this point. We're going to take his right hand here. We're going to bring her left hand around the front, which in this case would be the one with her engagement ring. We're going to come right here. Now, from here, we're going to have her look down. Jared's going to lean in close, bringing his nose to her face. Just like that. The hand is going to go on the hip. This is going to create a base. So for the first image, we're going to wind up with the 70-200 on our tripod in the back. Again, camera height way up above. Can you turn your head back to me a little bit, Carmela? You're doing great. Looking down, beautiful. We're still tilting to the right. Now, Carmela, chin up. And now bring your eyes right over here, right above the video camera, smiling, beautiful, nice and happy. Don't move. Now I come in. Again, I'm working with my 7D, so what I'm going to do right here is focus here on the hand. With a 1.2 aperture, it's going to be very, very shallow depth of field. I want to get her lips. No smile, beautiful. Just like that. No smile, look down, turn your head to your right. Excellent. We have our image. Now look what we do. We turn his head out. We keep both their faces in a 2/3 view. From here, we're going to make it very simple. We bring their eyes off camera. For the first time, we're going to change our tilt. We're now going to tilt to the left in the direction they're looking, which will ultimately raise them out of frame. I'm looking to create a panel album page. So you're going to see how I'm putting them in the left quadrant, eyes out over here, guys, right above the video. Smiling, Carmela, look like you're enjoying this, nice and happy. Excellent. Don't move. Now from here, we grab her hand. He's going to bring his lips to her hand. Notice how he starts to get the double chin. We're going to stretch it out. We take the hand off the shoulder, look down, beautiful. Bring that hand here on the hip still. She's looking down. We're now going to go back to a vertical image, tilting the camera to the right. But the first image, again, is with the 7D. I'm going to focus on his hands, her hand, the lips, and the dress. Notice the shallow depth of field. Back to camera, 70 to 200, metering and exposure locking on a face. Look down, beautiful. Eyes there. Excellent. Carmela, look at me. Now I go to a straight camera, horizontal. Turn your head to the left, beautiful. Sweep the hair out of your right eye, gorgeous. Excellent. Hand on your hip, looking straight at me, chin down, and lean your head closer to Jared. Perfect. Smiling. Excellent. Notice our cropping. Again, setting up the panel page. Now the hand goes here. Jared comes up here to cover her arm. We're going to pull Jared right in front of her. He is going to become our out of focus foreground. So we're going to turn him and he's going to hide one of her eyes. Turn your head to her, Jared. So now what I'm going to do again is use the 51.2. I want Jared to go completely soft. Looking at me, beautiful. Closing your eyes. Excellent. Now I step back to the other camera. 70 to 200, look at each other. Lean away, lean in close, turn your head to the left, beautiful. Jared, leaning closer to her. Turn your head to your left, gorgeous. Smiling. Now bring your lips, kiss her right on the forehead, but don't press. Close your eyes. Look at how soft the kiss is. We're going to kick her left leg in between his legs. So go right in there. Now you're going to push your pelvis all the way in. You're going to arch your head back. Jared holds the arm. So we're pushing in, arching back, head back. She's going to be in a straight profile at this point. We want the hair back, so head's going to be straight up. Jared's going to go to her neck. We're keeping the camera height again, going to be rather high at about neck level. Close your eyes, beautiful. We're going wider on our crop. We're tilting to the groom. Now look how we change it up. Turn your head to me, beautiful. Looking straight up at the sky. Look at the beautiful light on it. So we went from the neck kissing. Now we're going to go directly to the kiss of the forehead. So she just puts her lips on her forehead, chin up, close your eyes. We don't actually pucker. We get them close. It's the intimacy of the thought of the kiss, not the actual kiss. Getting a little bit closer. Cropping is right up on him. Excellent. Relax. Come all the way down because you're going to bring your head to his chest. Now bring your head in here, but turn your head this way. We're going to bring Jared up, hugging her. We're going to bring her hand here. Now we're going to lean them forward. The idea is the less we see of Jared, the better we are. So we're leaning her forward. We're pushing the hair back. Now it looks rougher to you than it actually is, my handling of them. I'm being very soft, almost a caress. I think the real way to get what you want is by touch. So looking down, beautiful. Turn your head to your right. Roll out the shoulder so we can push that up a little bit. Bring your hand a tad higher. Excellent. She's looking down. We're tilting to the groom, which ultimately is going to make it obvious she's looking down, cutting them off at the mouth. Now bring your eyes to me, beautiful. Smiling. Look at how soft and beautiful that light is. Stand up, gorgeous. Now you're going to wrap your arms on the top of his head, cheeks together. We're going to go in for an extreme close-up series of the face. Again, all we're doing is lighting this with a little torchlight on daylight setting. Nice and soft. Turn your head, chin down. So we're going to be cropped right in here. The perfect aperture is either 2.8 with our 70 to 200 or 1.2 with our 50. So let's take a look. First, I'm going to start with the 70 to 200 for the first one. Looking at me, gorgeous. Chin down a little bit, Jared. No smiles. Excellent. Now from here, we turn Carmela's face into him, putting her nose on his cheek. Right there. Close your eyes, beautiful. Now let's take a look. I'm going to push the hair back, but with the 51.2, I focus on Jared's right eye. If that's going to be in focus, I'm going to cut him in half down the bridge of the nose. So look at how soft the image is. Nose is together. We're going to have her look up at his forehead. I'm focusing on his nose. Look at her, Jared. Now, Carmela, you turn your head back to me. Tilt to Jared. His nose goes to her cheek. Chin down, Jared. Lean the shoulder back and stretch out the chin. Again, we're going to cut her in half down the bridge of the nose. Beautiful. Look at how shallow the depth of field is. Now, look at what we do. We're going to have Carmela let go of Jared, and she's going to step one step behind. Again, we're on aperture priority. Take one step back, beautiful. You're going to lean your heads together, but at 1.2, even though in video they're both in focus to you, turn your head to your right, you're going to notice how it goes softer. Looking at me, Jared, chin down a little bit. Excellent. Now, Jared is going to look down. Watch the change. Jared, turn your head to her a little bit. Look down. Carmela, you look at me and smile. The first one, she was soft because he was our main focal point. Now she's looking at me. Beautiful. Now from here, we bring Carmela up. You're going to walk up and turn your back to him. Beautiful. Now bringing the cheeks together, but again, she's got to shorten herself by opening her legs nice and wide. Heads together. Jared, tilt. We want to make sure that their faces are in the same direction. Hair back, but they got to be on the same plane, especially at 1.2. Heads together. You don't realize it, but we're already up way over 30 poses. Looking at me, Jared. Carmela, smiling, nice and happy. Jared. Now let's turn them towards each other. This is going to be kind of my world of posed photojournalism. So this is going to be part of my formal session, faking the moment. We're going to bring their hands all the way out here, their heads together, looking down at the hands. I'm going to use their hands as a focal point foreground, so I'm going to focus on the hands. 70 to 200 here. I'm tilting to the groom. Looking down, no smile. We meet her on the hands. Now bring the hands in closer to their face. We change from the face from the hands as a focal point to the face, smiling. Good. Now watch the rotation of the body. Keep spinning so I could see her back. Again, going to go to the 70, 51.2. I'm going to focus on the hand. I have such a shallow depth of field, you have no idea where they are. So I got the hand, the waist, and I'm tilting towards the hand, which is making it flow up while ultimately thinning it out. More importantly, you won't know where any of these are because I'm going to use this great Kubota action I have that changes every white balance situation in the world. Every bad white balance you ever have, I have the perfect automatic white balance correcting action from Kevin Kubota. It's called black and white. That simple. So now we keep them rotating. We're going to bring his lips to her shoulder here. We're going to turn her head, close the eyes. We're going to push her hair back behind the ear because I want to see the face. I'm going to try to get it back. Now I'm going to focus on this eye. Again, I'm using the 51.2. So no depth of field there. I'm spot metering, exposure locking on the face. Look at the softness. Now look at each other. Notice everything in the foreground completely out of focus. Background softens up again because of 1.2. Her eyes are out. I'm going to go back to the 70 to 200. This time I'm going to tilt my camera towards your left at home in the direction she's looking. Now, Carmela, turn your head to him. Jared, turn your head to her. Put your lips on his cheek almost. You see both eyes. If you don't, look at how I do it. Close your eyes. 1.2 again. I'm focusing on her face, letting him soften up, but I see the eye. Now she turns her head to me. We're going to turn his body to me. Bring your head on his shoulder, looking down. Beautiful. Notice, my torch light is on camera left. It's hitting her hard here. So do I want to shoot from this side? No way, because I'm going to make her look fuller. I want to come to the short side, chin down, beautiful. Excellent. And then I'm going to get perfect lighting. Soft, easy, beautiful. Now we're going to bring Jared behind her. We're setting up another key moment. She's going to shorten herself. Jared, bring your arms around the top of her chest. We're going to bring her hands right on top here. Now what we're going to do is lean them forward to thin them out. Chin down, beautiful. Look down at your hands, both of you. This is the perfect shot of the rings too, isn't it? If Jared's wearing his wedding ring and she's wearing hers, take a look. It's a lot better than the one with the hands on the flowers, right? Looking down, we're going to push her hair back a little bit. How do we tuck it in? We use Jared. Looking down. We keep both of them in a 2/3 view to the camera. Turn your body this way a little bit. Turn a little bit. And again, hair out, chin down, keeping it away. Look down at your hand. Beautiful. Carmela, turn your head to me a little bit. Gorgeous. Now look down. Beautiful. Just like that. Chin down. Gorgeous. Carmela, you look at me. Jared, you're looking down. You're smiling. Beautiful. Nice and happy. Excellent. Now turn your head to me, Jared. Turn your head to the right, tilt your head to her. Both of you looking right out here above the video. Jared, turn your head back to Carmela a little bit. They're in the left quadrant, smiling. I'm tilting to the left. Then I go in with the 51.2, and I focus on the hands. No smile, Carmela, serious? Excellent. So you see the foreground with the hands in focus, and then you notice the background. We keep them spinning. We're going to bring his hand here, his right hand here. We're going to bring her hand right on top. Take a look. She's going to turn her head in a complete and total profile. She's looking down. Jared's going to lean in nice and close. Again, look at the softness. Hand on the hip to create a base, but you're not actually going to see it. I'm going back to the 70 to 200. I'm going to tilt the camera in the opposite direction she's looking, which would be your right. Now take a look as it's blending down. Jared, turn your head all the way to the right away from her. Chin up, both of you, looking right out the window. Lean your heads together. Now we got a complete and total profile of them. I'm spot metering on the face, smiling, nice and happy, smiling. Look at how beautiful. Now we're going to bring Jared around the other side of her, over here. She's going to turn her back to him. Again, we have to shorten her up. We're keeping a wide base. We're going to make their hands the foreground, their heads together. Look down, beautiful. Look at the hands. Look at the way it's controlled. He's cracking her hand right there. So we're going to 50, 1.2 it. My hand, no smile, guys. Excellent. Now I bring the hands closer to them, and from there, they're going to look down at them still. Look down, beautiful, 70 to 200. Excellent. Tilt your head to your right a little bit, beautiful. Looking up, Jared, go into a neck. You're going to pretend he's doing a good job, gorgeous. Jared, go get some. Come on, fake it a little bit. He can't be that bad, can he? Good, excellent. Relax. From there, we're going to walk her one step away. We're going to bring her head back to his chest, all the way back. Jared, give her some back support. You're going to put your lips to her head. Close your eyes. Jared's got to lean back a little bit so he doesn't get that double chin. Notice the cropping, how tight we are. Close the eyes. Relax. We're going to bring her hands up around his head. Now, the veil would be perfect here because we'd use it to cover the arms. In this case, we're going to use his hands. Now, we're leaning them forward at the hip. Look down, beautiful. Jared, turn your head. Notice soft, nice and easy. 70 to 200 again, 1.2. We're tilting to the groom. Smiling, beautiful, gorgeous. Don't move. Now, we're going to take her front leg, which is a left, and kick it in front. We're starting to create the S by basically rolling it up here, bringing her hand here. Going to bring his hand here as well. We're going to bring her hand here on the back hip, his hand here. We're going to go into the head, into the neck. Go right in there, Jared. She's going to close her eyes here, and then curve that toe back. Getting a nice full-length image showing the leg, her head back, and we're going to show some scenery. Perfect. Stay there. Beautiful. Relax. You're going to turn towards the stairs, Carmela. Jared, you go facing her. We're going to have her kick her left leg in between his legs. We're going to bring it here. She's going to push in at the waist and her head back all the way. Good. Close your eyes. Relaxing right there. This is going to be a 3/4, but we're going to create a lower camera angle below where you are in the frame, and I'm tilting to the right, spot metering on the face so I could get the stairs. Take a look. So now let's move to the sexy side of the posing. Now she's going to lay back on her right elbow, and she's going to turn on her side. Slide back a little bit closer to the bone. Okay, Jared, you're going to come behind her. You're going to spoon her. Spooning her, if you don't know what it is, go back to high school. Okay, you'll find out in a hurry. We're going to bring her hand here. We're going to bring Jared's hand up again, covering her arm. Now, depending on the bride, some of them will want to get sexy and show off their legs. Some won't. Okay, very simple. Look at each other. We're pulling her hair back, and they're leaning in close. Now, because of the depth of this, which you can't all see in the video, I'm going to switch lenses to a 16 to 35, 2.8. I'm still shooting aperture priority 2.8 and spot metering on the eye. So let's see what we do. I'm going to come in nice and close. I'm going right here. Look at each other, guys. Perfect. And the reason I'm going wider is I want to show the depth of the bone. Smiling, beautiful. Good. Now, Jared, go in, give her a kiss, go around the side, close your eyes, both of you. Right there. Excellent. Now your head back, gorgeous. I'm going to add the element of camera tilt by tilting to the right. Jared, go into her neck. Right there. Wonderful. Close your eyes, though, beautiful. Just like that. We're going to leave you back on your elbows. Okay, sit on your backside. Legs straight out. Bring your front one down, your back one up. Good. Now bring your head all the way back and close your eyes, beautiful. Look at how sexy and beautiful she looks. Turn your head towards the barn. Nope, other way. Not so much. Back to me a little bit. Now close your eyes, beautiful. Head back all the way. We're tilting to the right, just like that. Absolutely gorgeous. Now from here, we're going to bring the dress behind her. We're spreading it out. Can you lift up your backside here? Just sitting on it. And now what I want you to do is put your hands flat behind you. I'm still going to work with the 16 to 35 here. Now, bring your legs in front of you. Can you slide back a little bit this way? Nope, bring your whole body back so your legs aren't totally up against the wall. Bring your legs in front of you. Now, we're going to bring her head back all the way. So bring your head back all the way, beautiful. Close your eyes. Look at the beautiful lighting coming from above. I'm going to raise my camera height here. Head back a little bit more. Excellent. I'm still tilting to the right, just like that. Gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. We're going to bring her legs up on the wall. This is really starting to push the envelope here. So I'm going to put my hand under her back to support her, and we're going to bring her legs up to the wall, and then we're going to lay her flat back on her head. But let me bring the gown underneath you here a little bit. Excellent. Now take a look. Beautiful, soft image. Head back. We're going to bring her hands behind her. We're going to cover up the crinoline of the gown, and this is a beautiful image. Now what's happening is I have most of my light coming from here, because right now I have the torch light heavily lighting from my left, or your left, my right. Now from here, I'm going to shoot from this angle, which is going to be the short light side, which is ultimately going to thin her out. Look at how sexy her legs are. I'm coming to right out of camera frame. Bring your legs up a little bit higher, beautiful. Good. To bring your right one down lower. Head back, gorgeous. Excellent. Wonderful. Notice the cropping. We're cropping and setting her off to the side. Absolutely gorgeous. We're going to bring our groom in. He's going to lay flat on his belly. You okay?
Yeah.
You're going to bring right to her chest, hand here. Bring both hands around his head. We're pushing this in because I don't want to see it. Head back, beautiful. Jared, bring to here. Good. Close your eyes, gorgeous. Relax the forehead. I'm still off the camera frame to the right. Nice and relaxed. Perfect. We've taken her off the wall a little bit. We're setting up to lay her back. This is going to be great. This is especially good for a plus-size subject because ultimately I can thin them out a lot because I'm going to be laying her down flat on her back, and with the elevation of the camera height as well as stretching her chin out makes a huge difference. So you're going to lay flat on your back, beautiful. Nope, sit right on your back. Bring your head right over here. Jared, you're going to come nice and close next to her. What I need you to do is you're going to lay on your side if you can. You okay?
Yeah.
Bring your nose right to her face. Good, excellent. We're turning her head here. We're bringing him in, bringing the hand here. Can we take your right hand? Excellent. Now, eyes open, beautiful. We want to make sure our hair is not too much out, but we want to make sure it's full here. Now, my camera height for this is going to be way above eye level. The veil becomes a key part here because it allows me to thin her out. My camera height is going to be right over here above eye level. So I'm bringing it down. I'm tilting it right towards, away from both of them. Right there, good. You're smiling beautiful, nice and happy. You're doing absolutely great. Don't move. We're going to bring our groom out for 1 second. Jared, you hop out. Other hand to your shoulder, too beautiful. Looking up at me, smiling. Don't move. Now from here, I'm going to go back, adding the 51.2. This is going to be key. Head back all the way, beautiful. Now turn your head this way a little bit. Close your eyes. I'm going to bring the camera height down. Tim, if you can pan to me. I'm going to bring the camera height down right to eye level. So we're focusing on eye level. And now at 1.2, everything else softens up. Now from here, I'm going to bring our groom in, laying, this time on his right arm in the opposite direction, nose to her face. Coming close right there. Let me slide my other camera right out of the way for you. Bring your hand around his head, beautiful. Now, turn your head this way and close your eyes, both of you. Jared, come back further on her chest. Excellent. I'm on the same plane as him. Close your eyes. Jared, bring your nose underneath there, a little bit more down. Excellent. Stay there. Tilting towards the groom. So the first one is at 51.2. Then I'm going to bring her eyes up Right here, turn your head to me again, beautiful. You're serious, Jared, just like that. You're serious too, Jared. Excellent. Now, both of you looking at me. Jared, turn your head to me. Lean your head closer to it. Jared, turn your head a little bit to your left. Smiling, nice and happy, guys. Teeth. Wonderful. Relax. All of these are being lit very simply by the torchlight. This little light is what's lighting all of these images up. So we're going to put her against the wall here. Now, what I wanted to do is turn your front leg in. So bring it in here like that. Look at the curve. That starts the S curve, starts the thinning process, and most of all, I want to make her feel sexy. If I can make her feel sexy, that changes everything. Now, we're going to bring Jared in close to her. So what's going to happen from here is we're going to kick Jared in here. We're going to turn your body a little bit more. We're kicking his left leg in. Okay, right now, you don't see her, but we're going to lean her forward and out. She's going to bring her back hand, which is a left, around Jared's head. She's going to bring her other hand to his face. She's going to look down. Notice how he covers her arm. Now, you don't see her, but I'm going to from my angle. You see slightly. Shooting her straight on, nice and soft, and I'm going to hit her with just a little bit of light from my left. Okay? Very soft and easy. Now we go tilting to the right. Camera height is slightly above eye level. She's doing great. She's looking down. Turn your head to me a little bit so I get a little bit of shorter light. Gorgeous. Now, we bring her eyes up to me. Look at me, beautiful. Chin up. Turn your head to Jared a little bit. Notice we have the light coming from the left. The short light side of her face is closer to me. Smiling, beautiful. That a girl. Gorgeous. Look at the framing. Perfect in the album. Bring the leg again in front. We're going to bring her left hand to her face, right into her neck. We're tilting her head in here. Excellent. Keep that up, just like that. Look at how sexy and soft. Cropping is going to make that image. Hand there. Look at the curve of the body. Perfect. We're cropping her again to left, looking at me, gorgeous, just like that. Notice the cropping of the arm. We want to see it, but we don't want to make it look full, because when it's up, it's full. Looking down, beautiful. I'm going to bring her into the bottom right-hand corner. I'm tilting it to camera right, but look at the cropping. Perfect in an album page. Beautiful, soft, sexy, sophisticated. Now, let me show you, we did flow posing of the bride and groom, but there's flow posing of every other aspect of a wedding. You don't even realize it. Let's do some bride alone flow posing. Look at how quick and easy these are going to come together. Bring your hands here. I want you to bring your first here. Now bring this hand here. A nice little glamour pose. Turn your head to your right. Take a look. Look at the way the shoulders are bunched in. If cropped right, you're going to take the fullness away, but more importantly, you're going to create a softness. Now a veil will become very helpful here. Looking at me, beautiful. Cropping right above eye level. Smiling, gorgeous. Excellent. Don't move. Now from here, we're going to change her hands up. We're bringing this hand here with the finger up here, but we're going to roll her out and we're going to bring her eyes off camera. So from here, look at where her eyes are going to be. I'm going to tilt the camera in the direction she's looking. Smiling, beautiful, nice and happy, gorgeous. Now I'm going to take the veil, bring it back in and show you how we add to the element. We're going to bring the veil in right around her head. From here, we're going to create a nice soft look, almost angelic. We bring this hand here, turn your head to your right. Relax, chin down a little bit, beautiful, and your eyes are going to come up. Look at how tight we're going to crop. We're going to be right in here, eyes off camera. You are doing perfect, gorgeous. We're still tilting to camera left, so if you're at home, up, right here, beautiful, smiling. Now look at me, serious, but I'm going to tilt in the opposite direction. Chin down, beautiful. Relax. Now from here, I'm going to take my 51.2 again. Chin down, can you shorten yourself a little bit? Focusing on the eye, notice the cropping. Now we're going to turn her in profile all the way. I want you to look straight out. Can you sweep the hair out of your eye again, beautiful? Look at the blur that's being caused by the lens. Eyes here. We're going to tilt your head to me. Beautiful. Look at how gorgeous and soft, smiling. Come on, bigger. That a girl. Look at the softness. Look at the beautiful look to it. Now, while we're in here, let's take this off for a second. What we're going to do here, just turn your body, just take a look, kick your right leg forward. Look at what happens when you start to create a glamour look. Turn your head to me. Tilt your head a little bit. I'm going to use the camera cropping to change the whole complexion of the image. So I'm going to crop here showing just the left side of her face, the short side. Looking at me, beautiful. Now, look down. Spot metering, exposure locking on the eye, chin down. Now from here, look at me. Perfect, stay there. And I'm going, first two, you saw a vertical, going down. Second one, I'm leaving the whole page empty. Now look at what we can do when we elevate ourselves. You're going to look right up here. So now I'm going to bring the torchlight, another one, up with me. So let's take a look. I'm going to go up here so I get beautiful light on her face. Right in here. Notice I have the torchlight in one hand, looking up at me, beautiful. Now notice the cropping. That's what's key. I'm cropping out one part of her face. I'm softly lighting her. Now look down, beautiful. Notice I'm tilting to the right. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to bring her into the wall. Look at my angle. Turn your body back to the wall. Tilt your head to your right, but turn to me. Turn your head to me a little bit. Nope, a little more. Excellent. Now notice the cropping. Turn your head a little bit more, beautiful. Using the wall as a foreground, smiling. Wonderful. Look down. Notice the foreground of the leading wall. No smile, beautiful. There's our image. Nice and soft and easy. So let's switch to the groom. We're going to have Jared. Nobody knows how to pose a groom. You know the common poses of the groom. Hands in the pocket, standing here and here. And, you know, here's one of my personal favorites, like this. Doesn't work. How can we make him look strong and powerful? That's what they want to see. Lean up against the wall, cross your feet. Now notice his body's going into the wall, but notice where his head is coming. We're leaning him off the wall. We're keeping him in the face into the light that we're pulling in from our torchlight and what little window light we have here. The first one is going to be a full-length traditional image. He's looking at me. Stay right there. I'm keeping him serious because if he's not serious, it changes the whole complexion of the image. Not mad. Eyes up. Now we're going to go horizontal, keeping him again serious, going from either left to right. Watch what happens if we turn him towards you in the video. Turn your head away from me. Now look at the strength of the image right there. Turn your head a little bit more, Jared. Good. Look at how he's looking out of the corner of his eye. Now that's from left to right. Now turn your head back to the window. A little bit more. Tilt your head to me, but turn to me. Turn your head to me. Tilt your head to your right. Eyes to me. To me, a little bit more. The next thing we do is change our cropping. Let me grab my 7D with my 51.2. Come off the wall. Again, we did this with the bride. We're going to do it with him. Bring his eyes up. I'm keeping the torchlight on him again. Someone's holding it for me. Looking right over here. And notice what happens when we shoot down. Look at the strength of it. Now look down. Look at how I'm getting in on him. Beautiful, soft, no depth of field, makes it perfect. Now, let's see what happens. We're going to change lens and we're going to set up that wonderful ending picture that every bride wants in our album. Jared, you're going to kneel right in front of her. You're going to put, right there, you're going to put your hands on her shoulders, put your hands on her waist. Open your legs wider by kicking your left leg in between. Real wide base. She's going to push in with her arms, and Jared's going to look up, and she's going to bring her head back. Now, this isn't ideally the place I would do it. The stairs will work a little bit. Close your eyes. Jared's looking up at her. Now, what's going to make it key is my cropping. I'm going to shoot this with a 16 to 35. I'm going to go down towards the ground, looking up. You're smiling, beautiful, just like that. Nice and happy. Jared, you're lifting her up. Happy teeth. Excellent. Notice the cropping. That's what makes the image. We'd love for you to come over to our virtual booth in the show. We have so many great free downloads and different things in there that you can take and really learn from. People ask me, what exactly am I teaching? What is it? How can I help you? Well, we have a whole series of educational products. They're designed, they weren't initially designed for you, honestly. They were designed for my own staff. We come from a big studio. My studio does slightly over 1,000 weddings a year. close to 5,000 portraits. So one of the things that's made our studio so popular is the consistency of what we do. What exactly is the consistency? Well, we teach them all to shoot exactly the same way and have a consistent way of doing things. How do I train my photographers? Very simple. We have a whole series of DVDs, which includes everything from the bride alone flow posing, to the bride and groom flow posing, to ground posing, to groom, to family, to bridal party, to sexy, to sales, you name it. They get all those videos when they first come in and we decide that they're going to make a commitment to us, because we really want to see what the commitment is. So we give them those videos. They hold on to them for roughly 4 weeks. The idea is to start to get a basic understanding of my system and what we do. After that, they get the next important ingredient besides the videos. They get the posing guide. The posing guide has everything that we do, from the engagement portrait to the boudoir portrait to the family portraits to the bridal and to the groom and to the bridal party. It's not very wordy. In the beginning, I put a little bit of words in to give you a couple of posing details and things like that. But after that, it moves on to all of the intimate images. You have the intimate engagement portrait, the regular engagement portrait, the family, the bridal party. You name it, it's all in here. It has every single pose. There's over 500 poses in here. My staff gets this for 2 weeks. So that's a pretty good start. Now from there, in their last 2 weeks of kind of on your own training, they get a key entity. This is called a core deck. This is one of the most popular things we have. In the core deck, when you open it, it has everything. When you open it up, on the front side, you see the image. On the back side, you see every single detail imaginable, from my camera tilt, to my height, to my lens selection, to the actions used, to my cropping, pretty much everything I'm thinking. And now you notice it's right here on a little keychain. It's something that the photographers will clip on the tripod. It's something that they'll carry with them. It's something they'll go back to time and time again. After that 8-week period, then we kind of just look at them and we kind of test them on it and say, okay, let's see the work you've been doing. And if they've been doing the work, usually within 3 weeks, maybe a month of actually going out on weddings, they're on their own. It's a quick, steady transition process, but most of all, it brings extreme consistency. Now, because of PDN and WPPI, we're giving you a whole bunch of discounts, which I'm going to tell you about, but you'll also see in our booth. If you purchase any one of 2 of our items, we're going to give you a 20% discount. If you purchase any 3 or more, you're going to get a 30% discount. The only things that you don't get the extreme discount on are our torchlight and our bracket. The torchlight, if you look on our website, normally sells for $449. It's going to be $318 for you guys on this sale. So take advantage of it, because it helps you in every situation. Tungsten, fluorescent, whatever. Please go and see us on Facebook and Twitter and our blog, because we're always putting free tutorials on it. And we look forward to seeing you at WPPI coming up in February. We have a WPPI Plus class that I'm doing. We have WPPI University on Saturday. And I'm honored again for the 4th time to be able to give the opening program for the whole entire convention. So I'm really excited about it. I look forward to seeing you there in Las Vegas or anywhere that we're going to go. Please, again, come see us in our booth. On behalf of PDN and WPPI, my name is Doug Gordon, and thank you all for coming to my virtual program.